All right, so skincare, right. It can be a bit of a jungle out there, especially when you hit 40 and every ad's like, hey, what the fountain of youth in a bottle?
Yeah. Seriously, though, how many times have you scrolled through Instagram and been bombarded by promises of like erasing wrinkles and banishing blemishes? It's tempting to just be like, okay, wrinkles it is, I give up. But before you throw in the towel, that's why we're doing this deep dive, folks. We're tackling skincare myths busted today, which is seriously refreshing. It cuts through all the marketing fluff and gives us the actual facts about skincare backed by science. And you know what? We're starting with a myth that's been around forever,
Yeah.
that anti-aging is only about wrinkles.
It's interesting, isn't it, how this myth takes such a complex thing, our skin, and boils it down to like one single visible sign of aging. It's like evaluating a vintage car based on a couple of dents when there's so much more to it. Right. This source really drives home that real anti-aging is about your skin's overall health. So we're talking tone, texture, firmness, how resilient it looks, the whole shebang.
Exactly. It's more about that healthy glow than chasing after some impossible ideal of being wrinkle-free.
So less about erasing every single line and more about making our skin as healthy and happy as possible.
Exactly. Which means, understanding how your skin actually works so you can give it what it needs. And that brings us to another myth that just won't quit. That if you have oily skin, you don't need moisturizer.
Oh, tell me about it. I totally bought into that one for years. I was like, my face is already an oil slick. Why would I add more oil on top?
It's such a common misconception. But here's the thing. When you strip your skin of its natural oils, like with harsh cleansers or by skipping moisturizer, it can actually backfire. It can actually make you produce more oil.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, think of it like a seesaw. Push one side down, the other side goes up.
Okay, that's a good analogy. So we need to balance our skin's natural oil production, not try to get rid of it completely.
Exactly. And this source recommends going for a moisturizer that's gentle, oil-free, something that hydrates without clogging your pores.
So hydration is key, even for us oily skin folks. Now, onto a myth that I'm slightly embarrassed to admit I might have believed, that sunscreen's only for sunny days.
I get where you're coming from, but the science is pretty clear on this one. UV damage, it's a bit sneaky. It's not always obvious like bright sunshine.
You mean those rays can get through clouds? What about windows?
Yeah, unfortunately, UV rays can actually penetrate clouds and even windows, and they can cause up to 80% of the visible signs of aging.
Hold on, did you say 80%? You mean even on those days when I'm inside feeling all smug because it's gloomy out, I'm still racking up sun damage?
I know it's a bit of a downer, right? But it's true.
Okay, that settles it. Apply sunscreen is officially going on my morning to-do list right after make coffee, rain or shine. I thought I was off the hook on cloudy days, but clearly not.
It's a really common mistake, but hey, now you know, and you can protect your skin.
Exactly. Speaking of protecting our skin, let's talk retinol. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? I've heard amazing things about it, smoothing lines and evening out skin tone, but also that it can irritate the skin, especially as we get older.
You're right, it can be a bit tricky, especially for mature skin. This source really emphasizes starting slow and gradually introducing retinol, especially if you're new to it.
Okay, so how do we get the benefits without ending up with a red face? What does slow and steady actually look like in practice?
Think of it like training for a marathon, right? You wouldn't run 20 miles on your first day.
Yeah, no way.
Same with retinol. You want to start with a low concentration, maybe 0.01% or 0.03%, and then slowly increase the strength as your skin builds up tolerance. Think of those collagen-boosting cells in your skin as needing to be eased into it, not bombarded.
Right, so start slow. What about how often you use it? Every day.
This source suggests maybe every other night or even just twice a week to start, and then you adjust based on how your skin reacts.
Moisturizer, moisturizer, moisturizer.
Absolutely. Retinol can be drying, so pairing it with a good moisturizer is essential. And of course, sunscreen is non-negotiable, especially when you're using retinol.
Got it. Hydrate and protect. Now, on to something I suspect I might overdo. Exfoliation. There's something so satisfying about scrubbing away those dead skin cells, you know?
I get it, I do. But this is where understanding mature skin is super important. Imagine your skin's like a delicate piece of silk, right? You wouldn't take a harsh brush to it.
Okay, I see what you mean.
As we age, our skin's natural cell turnover slows down. So while exfoliation can be good for getting rid of dead skin cells and revealing that healthy glow, going overboard can strip away the oils that protect our skin and maintain its barrier.
So less is more when it comes to exfoliating as we get older.
Exactly. This source suggests sticking to once or twice a week max and using gentle exfoliants like lactic acid or enzymatic ones.
Okay, ditch the apricot scrub. Got it.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about something I think a lot of us wonder about collagen supplements. Can popping a pill really turn back the clock and give us back that youthful bounce?
You know, I wish it were that easy. Think of collagen molecules like large puzzle pieces. When you swallow a collagen supplement, your body breaks those big pieces down during digestion.
So our bodies basically take those big collagen pieces and turn them into smaller bits.
Exactly. And while some of those smaller bits might make it to your skin, there's no guarantee they'll reassemble in a way that actually makes your skin more elastic.
So no magic pill for collagen then.
Afraid not. This source emphasizes that a better way to boost collagen is to focus on ingredients that help your skin produce its own collagen.
Like retinol, which we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And adding topical peptides, those are like little messengers that tell your skin to make more collagen.
So it's all about supporting our skin's natural processes.
Exactly.
This is fascinating. Now, let's address something that I know can be a pain for a lot of women over 40. Adult acne. You think you've escaped the breakouts of your teenage years, and then bam, adult acne.
Oh.
So frustrating. And don't even get me started on that myth that it's all about bad hygiene.
Right. Such a common misconception. This source debunks it completely. Adult acne is often caused by hormones, stress, what you're eating, even certain skincare products.
Okay, so what can you do? How do you get to the bottom of it?
This source recommends focusing on gentle products that won't clog your pores, what they call non-comedogenic. And get this, overwashing your face can actually make things worse. It strips away your skin's natural oils, which can lead to more breakouts.
Wow, really? So sometimes less is more when it comes to cleansing.
It can be, yeah. It's all about finding the right balance.
This is also interesting. I feel like I've been approaching skincare all wrong.
Well, that's the power of knowledge.
Okay, one last myth to tackle before we wrap up. We've all seen those fancy skincare ads with the big price tags, but is expensive skincare really that much better?
It's the age-old question, and this source makes a really good point. It's not about the price tag, it's about the ingredients.
So you're saying we don't need to empty our wallets to have effective skincare?
Exactly. Lots of drugstore brands have great formulations that use the same active ingredients as the expensive stuff. Hyaluronic acid, retinol, peptides, those are the ingredients that really make a difference, regardless of the brand name or how much it costs.
So it's kind of like, when you're buying a car, you don't just automatically go for the most expensive one,
Yeah.
right? You compare what you're getting, the features, the value.
That's a great way to put it. And with skincare, those features are the ingredients.
Exactly. Knowledge is power when it comes to this stuff.
Absolutely. And speaking of knowledge, let's talk about eye creams. There's a lot of hype around those.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that regular moisturizer just doesn't cut it for the delicate skin around your eyes.
And it's true. The skin around our eyes is much thinner and more fragile than the rest of our face, which makes it more prone to, those fine lines, wrinkles, dark circles, all that fun stuff.
So it's not just a marketing ploy. Eye creams are actually formulated differently.
Exactly. Think about it this way. You wouldn't wash a silk blouse with the same detergent you use for your jeans.
Right. Okay, good point.
It's the same idea with skincare.
So what should we be looking for in an eye cream? What makes them different?
Well, this source talks about ingredients like caffeine. Caffeine can actually help constrict blood vessels, which reduces puffiness. And then there are peptides. We were talking about peptides earlier.
Right, those little messengers that tell your skin to make more collagen.
Exactly. And you'll often find hyaluronic acid in eye creams too, which helps draw moisture to the skin and keeps the area hydrated.
Got it. So caffeine for depuffing, peptides for firmness, hyaluronic acid for hydration, all those good things.
All specifically designed for that delicate eye area.
Makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, let's move on to something that I find a bit confusing, natural skincare. It seems like everything is labeled natural these days, but does that actually mean it's better for your skin?
It's a good question, and this source really encourages us to think critically about the word natural when it comes to skincare.
You mean just because something is natural doesn't automatically mean it's good?
Right. Some natural ingredients can be amazing for your skin, but natural doesn't always equal gentle or effective. I mean, poison ivy is natural, right?
True.
But you wouldn't want to put that on your face.
Definitely not. So you're saying that on the flip side, just because an ingredient is synthetic doesn't necessarily make it bad.
Exactly. Plenty of synthetic ingredients are rigorously tested to make sure they're safe and effective, and they can be really great for our skin.
So it's more about being informed and figuring out what works best for your individual skin, rather than demonizing one type of ingredient or another.
Absolutely. It's all about paying attention to how your skin responds, whether an ingredient is natural or synthetic.
It's about results, not labels.
Exactly. And sometimes the best approach involves a combination of both.
This is so helpful. I feel like I've been going about skincare all wrong.
Well, you're learning now, and that's what matters. Remember, everyone's skin is different, so what works for one person may not work for another.
It's like you said, everyone's skin is different, so what works for one person might not work for another. This is all so eye-opening. I feel so much more equipped to actually make good decisions about my skincare routine now.
That's what we want. And remember, it's not about chasing some perfect ideal, it's about feeling good in your own skin.
So true. This deep dive has given us a really solid foundation, but I'm guessing there are times when you need to call in reinforcements, right?
Absolutely. This source makes a good point. As much as knowledge is power, there's no replacement for personalized advice when it comes to skincare.
You mean, like, don't be afraid to see a dermatologist.
Yeah. If you're dealing with specific issues or you're just overwhelmed by all the options out there, a dermatologist can be a lifesaver.
Like having a personal trainer, but for your skin.
I love that. They can look at your skin, figure out what's going on, and come up with a plan that's tailored just for you.
It's like the difference between trying to navigate a new city with a crumpled up map versus having a GPS that tells you exactly where to go.
Perfect analogy.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into skincare myths busted.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope you're feeling empowered, informed, and ready to glow from within.
And remember, your skincare journey is your own. Embrace it, enjoy it, and never